Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to talk about Melee 3.0 or Melee 2.99999 or the Phase 1 of Melee 3.0. Now I generally don't do these types of videos because I honestly prefer to play with something before I judge it, but this is of great importance to me because Melee is what originally won me over to Warframe, and I still love it to this day. I mean, most of my playtime is still spent flailing around a random ass melee weapon with a weird or a ridiculous build like the one you're watching right now, where I have the paracesis with maximum attack speed. So what is the Phase 1 of Melee 3.0 going to introduce? Well, something they're referring to as Uninterrupted Combat, which I think describes it quite well, because what it will allow us to do is switch between our firearms and melee weapons on the fly. And the best demonstration of this, I think, is this clip from the stream. You can see Rebecca doing the Rufflecopter combo from Cleaving Whirlwind, then she aims down sights, fires a couple of shots, and goes straight back into the Rufflecopter combo. And this is going to work the other way around as well. So basically the idea of this here is that you're going to be in gun mode, where you have either your primary or your secondary, and as soon as you quick attack, you will switch over to full melee mode like we have now. You just don't have to hold the button, and as soon as you either aim down sights or you press the fire button again, you will snap back to gun mode. This all looks really impressive, and it seems like something that's going to be a lot of fun to play, and it seems to be quite far in development as well, because they are sort of already figuring out all the issues that will come with this, and they're correcting them, and it is, as of right now, scheduled to be released with the next mainline update. Now, one thing that immediately popped into my mind when I saw this system was, well, what about those of us that use the primary fire button to actually melee attack in full melee mode? And they already thought about that, so there's going to be a toggle in the options menu where you can switch it so that when you enter melee mode, you can continue attacking by using the primary fire button, and you will probably switch back to gun mode by aiming down sights. But that raises another question: how do you aim down sights in full melee mode, because that button is currently allocated to blocking, and the answer to that is quite simple. Blocking, or at least active blocking, is going away, and you will simply block everything in a cone in front of you like you do with exalted weapons. And speaking about exalted weapons, those will be included as well. So for example, in the case of Ivara's Artemis Bow, you can easily just switch into full melee mode and still have the Artemis Bow active. You'll just switch back into it like you would into normal gun mode by aiming down sights. And it will also work the other way around for melee exalted weapons, where if for example you pull out an exalted blade, that will now count as your melee weapon, and you can switch between that and your guns, but you will have to keep an eye out on your energy, because even if you switch into a gun, it will still drain your energy. And I don't know if I've just missed it, but I don't know if they talked about Baruch, but I assume it's gonna work the same way. So if you turn on Desert Wind and then switch into a primary or a secondary, it will still drain Restraint. Next on the menu is Channeling, which is now going to be exclusively on a toggle, rather than having the option to either hold the button down or tap it to toggle it. And on top of that, your F button by default on PC is now going to be used to exclusively switch between your primary and secondary guns. And you of course will be able to change the key binding on this, like many of us did. I for example have it on Q. Oh yeah, and while they weren't quite sure what's gonna happen with the dual wielding system, where you dual wield a one-handed secondary and a glaive, it is confirmed now that it does exist in this new system. Or rather, it is still supported by this new system. Next up, we have melee slams, which at the moment just drop you straight down. I mean, it works, but it's not the best thing in the world, and luckily we're getting something a little bit better with this update. They provided a very simple illustration of this, so you can see the old system was just slam straight down, but with the new system you'll be able to choose a direction in which you will slam. Though you won't be able to fly too far, because once you aim above a certain threshold, you will do an air attack instead. That still exists. So here's what that looks like in-game, a very nice bonk indeed, and you can also see the primary switch right here. As Rebecca aims down sights to glide, it immediately switches her back to the primary weapon. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the big mechanical changes, though please bear in mind that this is not final. They still haven't finished everything. Like for example, they're not exactly sure what they're gonna do with weapons that have unique blocking mechanic, like the Vacor Sidon. They still haven't agreed on the final solution on what to do with combos, because a lot of them will just straight up not work. Like for example, block combos won't exist anymore. The one thing they did confirm is that mod changes will come later down the line as they get feedback and all that, because once again some mods will just straight up not work with this new system. And finally, mechanics aren't the only things that will change, because we're also going to get some fancy, fantastic looking effects. So here is an example of a toxin damage on the weapon with a light green / a yellowish energy color, and here we have electricity with a light blue energy color. And this leads into yet another great example of the combo continuation system. So you can once again see Rebecca doing the Rufflecopter combo from cleaving Whirlwind and weaving in shots here and there, and it ends with a very nice demonstration of a glide, some firing, and it ends with a slam. Man, I don't know about you, but for me this is extremely exciting. This is the kind of fluidity that I always wanted when it comes to switching between guns and melee weapons. I mean, hell, I even built a Zor that kind of emulates what they're doing right here. I built a Zor specifically for quick attacks, so that my quick attacks do good enough damage to where I don't have to switch into full melee mode to actually kill something with it. Everything they showcased so far just looks amazing, and I think it's a great evolution to the combat system in Warframe. But anyway, I think I've been rambling for long enough, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video and it was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.